Welcome back to Country Living with Country Legends. You know, if there's anyone that has a real appreciation and really understands the great taste of Texas food, it's world-renowned cook, got to get that right, not chef, Grady Spears. Grady, thanks for joining us. What an entourage of food here. And, you know, outdoor grilling is so popular right now.
Well, I mean, this is, we're going to do everything today on a grill. All this is Texas related or Texas-based food that we're going to do today. Some chili rellenos stuffed with some cachota cheese, some grilled corn with some lime butter and some cotija cheese, and chicken fried steak.
Wow, so a little bit on the spicy side.
No, not too bad. These
Not too
poblanos are not very spicy, actually. If you use the longer green chilies, they're a little spicier. These have a little more flavor and they're a little milder.
Okay.
So they go great with a good creamy cheese. So.
Can you talk and work at the same time?
Sure.
I'm going to ask you some questions.
Sure, I can.
Go, fire away.
Okay, first of all, we'll start off with the chilies, all right? I've got, these are going to be chili rellenos. This is a poblano, and I've taken and I've roasted this over a fire. So we blacken the skin, and then what you do is you just peel the skin off.
So you've blistered it?
Yeah, we blistered the skin. You just peel the skin off then. And these actually you can freeze after you peel the skin off of them. These will freeze really well.
Wow.
So then you take and make a slit in it. And I've got some cheese right here. And if you can't find the cachota, you can use some jack cheese. But
is that a mild cheese?
It is kind of a mild creamy cheese, really good cheese. And then I'm just going to throw it in a hot skillet. And obviously the cast iron skillet's sitting on top of the grill, so we're going to do everything outside and we'll let the cheese melt. So those are the chili rellenos, 2 ingredients, the chilies and the cheese.
Okay.
Next thing, I've got some corn over here, some good fresh corn. And you know, corn you really don't have to cook. I mean, you can eat it raw if it's good and fresh. But I'm going to put this on the grill for just a little bit. So I'm going to roll it in a little bit of lime butter.
Now that better be Iowa corn. That's the best kind.
I think it's Texas
right, everybody?
corn, actually.
Iowa corn's the best kind. Woo!
But I'm going to take and actually roll the corn in a little lime butter. And then I'm going to throw it on the grill and throw a couple of limes on with it. And while those are cooking, so we've got the corn on the grill, we've got the chili rellenos heating, the cheese is going to melt. Next thing we're going to do is make some chicken fried steaks.
Okay, let's talk about steaks. You're big with meat. I mean, you know, I love your cookbooks, especially the one with about using Dr. Pepper. Dr.
Pepper, well, Dr. Pepper's Texas, you know. And actually what happens is the Dr. Pepper's got a lot of sugar in it. So the sugar is left on the meat. I usually use not primal cuts, but things like flank steak or skirt steak, and I'll marinate the stuff in Dr. Pepper.
Which is really a cheaper steak.
Well, I don't know if it's a cheaper steak. It's just a different cut of meat. I mean, it's a really good buttery cut.
But you can make a filet mignon. I've tried it.
Well, I don't know if I can make a filet mignon out of a skirt steak, but I can make it tender. So
this looks great.
Okay, so we got the corn on the grill. Next thing, I took some ribeyes, just really thin ribeye steaks, and I pounded them out. And we've got some buttermilk, some eggs, and some beer in the batter. And the beer kind of keeps the batter light. So I'm going to take and pound these out. I'm going to dip it in the buttermilk and the eggs and the beer first, and then a little flour. And I put a little salt and pepper in the flour.
Okay.
So, and then back in, and then cover it with flour.
Now you've opened up a lot of restaurants, Grady, but you have 2 you've just recently opened that are yours.
We do. We own Dutch's on University in Fort Worth, and it's a hamburger place. We're actually taking the cattle all the way through. So we're feeding our own cattle, grinding the cattle down, taking
from beginning to end.
Beginning to end.
Wow.
So what I'm going to do now, I've got some peanut oil heating up, and I'm going to drop those in the deep fryer. And these won't take long. You know, these are really thin cuts of meat. So these will take maybe 3 to 4 minutes at the most. And you don't want, you know, if the oil's too cold, you're going to have a greasy chicken fried steak. If it's too hot, you're going to burn the outside before the inside's cooked.
So it has to be just right.
So it's got to be just right.
Okay, what do you need?
Tongs would be great, or this would be great. Okay. But 375 degrees on the oil. And you can use a candy thermometer if you want. But
how'd you get your start?
Well, I grew up wanting to be a cowboy my whole life. And I was working for a cattle broker from the time, I guess, early on in high school, and graduated from high school, and went to college for about 6 weeks and quit, and couldn't make it in the cattle business, so I started bussing tables. And make a long story short, I ended up cooking because I went out to West Texas to run a little bitty restaurant, and the chef walked out on me.
So had you always liked to cook? I mean, you had a little bit of that knack, or you just got thrown into it?
So I've just gone from one end of the beef business to the other.
Wow.
So these things are about ready to go.
And why is it that you don't like to be called a chef?
Chef's kind of a fancy word. I'm a simple cook, you know. I cook very wholesome, very simple, you know, very simple but kind of bold flavors. Everything. If you're on a diet, you probably don't want to eat my food. But there's the chicken fried steak, and if we actually Took one of these chili rellenos.
Oh my goodness. And you have 5 books, and you have one that just came out right here, I think it is.
6
The
now,
Texas
actually. This one's
Cowboy
the 6th.
Kitchen.
And,
Great recipes.
So.
Really cool.
Photographs are great. They're all from the Irwin Smith collection at the Amon Carter.
Oh, that's great.
Taken back in the late 1800s and early 1900s, so it's a great combination of
Don't set
historical
that down.
stuff. Oh,
Barry Corbin,
dope,
come here.
dope.
This is his.
We'll get a
Oh,
little
my
corn
goodness.
and maybe some cotija cheese on top of the corn and
Barry, you're gonna founder. Look at that. Huh?
Oh my
pretty
goodness.
simple and all done on the grill.
I want to
Ooh-wee.
bite. Very good.
That cheese is good. It's actually a little
Grady.
salty, so I didn't salt the corn.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That looks great.
What's later?
Maybe some dessert.
Cool.
Well, I'm gonna sit down and eat.
Let's go.